Hello, my name is Eli Kahn. I'm the former Director of Cybersecurity Policy at the White House under the Obama administration and former DHS official under the Bush administration. In both of these roles, I helped set national cybersecurity policy, strategy, and guidance for the nation. Specifically at the White House, I worked at the National Security Council under the Cybersecurity Coordinator and the National Security Advisor. In this role, I worked closely with senior federal officials from across the federal government, including representatives from the CIA, Department of Justice, National Security Agency, Department of Defense, and Department of State. One of the first things we did at the White House was a 60-day review of the nation's cybersecurity policies and strategies. One of the more interesting findings of that review, which can be read at the White House website, is that the CIA has identified numerous cases overseas where cyber attacks have knocked off large populations of people off their national energy grids. While the U.S. government has not publicly disclosed of any attacks that have happened against the U.S. energy grid, the former Director of National Intelligence has identified that our energy grid is just as vulnerable as energy grids around the world. He also identified that there are countries, such as Russia and China, that do have the capabilities to attack our energy grid. In fact, the Wall Street Journal last year, according to reports from former government officials, identified that Russia and China have been mapping our energy grid potentially for use for a future attack during a time of war. The smart grid is one of the great technological innovations of the 21st century. By using two-way communications that help dynamically control how users use energy in their homes, the smart grid has great potential to reduce costs associated with home energy usage. However, those benefits also come with new risks. By implementing these new two-way communication devices at the home, the smart grid introduces new cybersecurity vulnerabilities that could be exploited by a number of different actors, whether it be terrorists, criminals, or foreign militaries. While at the White House, we envisioned a number of different scenarios where these cybersecurity actors could do damage to our national energy grid. We envisioned scenarios where criminals might monitor home energy usage to determine when people are home or not. We looked at potential scenarios where foreign militaries or even terrorists could knock off entire populations off the energy grid in the dead of winter, leaving thousands of people stranded without power or heat. These types of consequences are very frightening. They move beyond just cyber consequences to consequences that affect the American people in their homes at any time. One thing that we looked very closely at while we were at the White House were the cybersecurity capabilities that other countries were building to prepare for the next war. It's inevitable that the next major war or even terrorist attack could involve cyber attacks. And we've actually seen this already occur in a number of places, whether it be in Georgia or Estonia, where cyber attacks have been a key element of the new type of 21st century warfare. In order to best prepare ourselves for the risks that we're facing, we must look at the various vulnerabilities that we face across our critical infrastructures. The energy grid is no doubt one of our most critical infrastructures within the United States. We must look at how the smart grid introduces new vulnerabilities to this infrastructure and take the appropriate means to protect it. This means that we must look at cybersecurity measures to best protect advanced metering infrastructure or other smart grid devices that could potentially provide terrorists or organized criminals entryways to attack our national infrastructure. While at the White House, we took protection of the smart grid very seriously. We looked at various different new policies and strategies to ensure that the deployment of smart grid infrastructure included cybersecurity as a top priority. For example, we worked closely with the Department of Energy to ensure that new grant guidance required that smart grid vendors include cybersecurity proposals in their new technology. We also worked closely with the Department of Energy to identify the need for new standards and regulations for smart grid providers and vendors. However, there's only so much the U.S. government can do. In order for the smart grid to be fully adopted successfully across the nation, we're dependent on innovations of smart grid vendors and technology providers to ensure smart grid solutions are safe and secure. One of the reasons I'm so excited to join the board of advisors at Infrax Systems is because I now have a first-hand view of the technology that can be used to protect the smart grid. Infrax Systems uses a unique technological approach based on the Trusted Platform module to protect the advanced metering infrastructure. A key challenge for our nation moving forward is to determine how we want to best protect the smart grid from cyber attacks. The reason why I chose to join the board of advisors at Infrax Systems is because I believe they have a technological solution that sets them apart from other smart grid vendors. Their approach, based on the Trusted Platform module, helps protect advanced metering infrastructure from the variety of different cyber attacks that I previously mentioned, whether it be cyber terrorist groups, foreign militaries, organized criminal rings. Because the smart grid is such an important part of our energy infrastructure moving forward, I'm very excited to join the board of advisors at Infrax Systems. The smart grid carries with it great national security risks, but also great potential to increase the energy efficiency of our country. At Infrax, I'm very excited to work with the management team to ensure that the technologies and solutions utilize best practices from around the world. In addition, the technology that I've seen from Infrax is world-class. The encryption approaches that they utilize are based on Trusted Platform modules, which is a best-in-class practice, and will help ensure that the smart grid is safe and secure moving forward. One of my roles with Infrax Systems will be to not help them identify the risks that Infrax Systems technologies should address with the smart grid, but also to help them evaluate new technologies and solutions that can help secure the smart grid. I'll also be introducing them to various government officials and agencies that play key roles in the protection of the smart grid. The smart grid is one of the great opportunities and risks facing our nation moving forward. Infrax is going to be a key provider in helping to mitigate those risks. Lastly, I'm really excited to join the team at Infrax Systems. I've been truly impressed by both their technology and their management. When I left the White House, I had a variety of opportunities presented to me. However, I chose to join the board at Infrax Systems because I truly believe that Infrax Systems can have a lasting and significant impact on the security of our nation. Thank you.
Thank you.